We continue down the path of reducing our overall position to equities over the quarter towards a neutral setting. Broadly speaking, we see a balance of risks and opportunities for markets. While vaccination rates have been strong in much of the developed world, the ongoing spread of variants amongst the unvaccinated remains a risk. As we head into Q4, the increase in vaccine mandates and passports may begin to move the needle of vaccination rates amongst the skeptics. From a policy perspective, both monetary and fiscal settings remain exceptionally easy and are likely to remain so for the near future. However, central banks may gain more and more attention as they begin to guide markets around the expected path of policy as they begin the job of normalization into the future, a delicate job that often leads to bouts of volatility. We are also incrementally favoring cash over bonds. We believe there could be a pickup in growth in Q4 along with rising inflation expectations that would drive higher yields and, of course, lower bond prices. China has certainly been in the news this quarter. Early on, it was the government's crackdown on the market power of the technology sector and the for-profit education firms that led to a sell-off in Chinese equities. We used the relief rally that followed to reduce our overweight position to emerging market equities to neutral, on the view that the greater uncertainty of how far the Chinese government was willing to go to re-exert control on the private sector was enough to offset the relative merits we see in the region. The more recent struggles in the Chinese property sector and further uncertainty on how far the government is willing to go to support large developers has added to our near-term caution on the region. As US equities continued to push higher over the summer months, we began to purchase put options to hedge the downside risk in our portfolios. In our view, the odds of a correction were beginning to rise as we entered September, given risks around central bank talk and firmer guidance around the tapering of quantitative easing and the eventual normalization of policy. As markets sold off in mid-September around the Fed meeting and concerns on China's property sector, we took profits on these hedges. Going into the fourth quarter, we are using the tactical completion fund to position for a rotation back towards cyclical value sectors within the US equity.